Are your food choices stopping you from losing fat? Over the years of working with people, helping them to achieve their fat loss goals, there's one thing that always stands out to me that a lot of people say to me leading up to when I start working with them. And the words that I hear them saying is, I don't even eat that much, but I still can't seem to lose weight. Immediately, I can see that there is a lack of knowledge around food choices, and the calories in foods. And also the volume of foods. I see these people, maybe you included, getting frustrated, pulling their hair out. I mean, not really, but I do see them, and again, maybe you included, starting to lose hope and eventually giving up. Because they honestly feel like they are not eating a lot. And maybe they or you are not eating a lot of volume, but maybe you are eating a lot of calories. And I see these people trying very hard to lose weight. But in the process, I see them wasting their valuable time by not doing this one thing. And that one thing is tracking their calories, tracking your calories. It's very easy to come to me and say, oh, but Mandy, I'm not even eating that much, but you have no idea of how much you are actually eating or how many calories you are actually consuming on a daily basis. Now, this video is not about tracking your calories. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to teach you step for step in this video how to log your calories and how to track your calories and how to look at weekly averages and how to learn from the data and how to interpret the data. That's not what this video is about. If you want extra coaching on that, you can join my private coaching community. The link is in the description. Or you can purchase my Project Health and Fat Loss digital course. Again, link in the description. I hope you're sitting down for what this video is actually about. Because it's the harsh reality that you are going to have to acknowledge and accept if you want to continue moving forward to see fat loss progress. And in this video, I'm going to highlight that you are probably not eating as little as what you think you are. You are probably eating a lot more than what you believe you are. And by more, I don't necessarily mean more food. But what I mean is that you are most likely eating a lot more calories than what you think you are. You don't need to be eating huge volumes of food for fat gain to take place. Fat gain can take place through the smallest of foods. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the calories that you are consuming. So whilst it might seem as though you're eating very little volume when it comes to food, the volume that you are eating, how packed is it with calories? Let's break this down a little bit further with some questions. Do you snack on high-fat foods such as a handful of cashew nuts, almonds, or any nuts? Do you cook with olive oil, butter, fats, other oils or sauces? Do you have that extra teaspoon or two of peanut butter once you've meant to pack that peanut butter jar away? Do you add a lot of milk to your tea and coffee on a daily basis? Are you eating more foods that are highly processed as opposed to eating more foods that are more nutrient dense? Are you having 1 or 2 rusks with your coffee? Or when you give the kids their biscuits, are you having 1 or 2 biscuits with them? You see, all of the above mentioned foods and more that weren't even mentioned are not high volume foods. Think about it for a moment, your rusk or your biscuits. It's a very small amount of food, even something like a pancake or something like a muffin. The volume of these foods are not massive, but they come packed with calories. And because the volume or the size of these foods is not massive, it makes you believe that you are not eating a lot, volume-wise. But if you dive deeper into it and you actually have a look at the calories of these foods, you will find out that you are actually eating a lot more than what you think you are. And this, my friends, is where tracking your calories for a minimum of 2 weeks comes into play. You will be surprised to see and to learn just how many calories some of your smaller food types contain. That pancake, that muffin, that rusk, that healthy wrap that you had from your health store, that handful of nuts, those 2 extra splashes of olive oil. And don't even get me started on the fact if you are drinking your calories through liquid form. A Coca-Cola, for example, that doesn't seem like a lot. That cup of hot chocolate before you go to bed, that's not food, is it? Many people won't even add their liquid calories to, I don't even eat that much. Because why? Because it's not solid foods. But Your liquid calories like your Coca-Cola, your fruit juice, your hot chocolate before you go to bed, the milk that you're adding to your tea and coffee, whilst it might not be solid food, it comes with a fair amount of calories in it, which all adds up. And like I said, the moment you start logging and tracking everything that you put in your mouth, food and drink wise, it is going to be a massive eye opener for you as to how many calories you are really consuming on a daily basis. Another thing, us as humans grossly underestimate the amount of food that we are eating. You think you're eating 50 grams of muesli for breakfast, but the eyeballing skills of you and me are not great when it comes to the exact measurements of foods that we are eating. Next time you think you're eating 50 grams of muesli for breakfast, actually pull out your kitchen scale and have a look at how much that really is. It could be that you're eating 80 grams or 90 grams of muesli as opposed to 50 grams like you thought you were. The same with the yogurt that you're adding to that muesli. You might think you're having 100 grams, but when you actually measure and weigh that yogurt, what you might find is that you're having 150 or 200 grams. And just on your breakfast alone, because there wasn't any weighing and measuring of the foods that you were having, you really underestimated the amount that you were eating. And the errors in the calorie calculations because of that can be the exact thing that is pushing you out of a calorie deficit and into a maintenance amount of calories. Randomly, I just want to add this. Let's say, for example, you have 100 grams of chicken breast and you have 100 grams of lamb chops. Volume-wise, it's the same. 100 grams is 100 grams. Calorie-wise, it is not the same. So in your mind, you might be thinking, but I only had 100 grams of meat. Yes, you did. Volume-wise, you had 100 grams. Calorie-wise, if you had 100 grams of chicken, you would be having around 165 calories. Whereas if you have 100 grams of lamb chops, you're looking at about 270 calories. As you can see, there's 100 calorie difference, even though the food volume is the same. And that's why I say you might be feeling like you are not eating a lot at all, but how many calories are you eating? That is what you need to figure out. And how are you going to figure that out? Well, number one, you're going to hold yourself accountable to acknowledge and accept every single little thing that you eat and drink for the next 2 weeks. Don't ignore that rusk that you had before you went to bed. Don't ignore that extra tablespoon of peanut butter that you had whilst you were making a sandwich. Don't ignore the fact that you had 2 of your kids' Oreo biscuits whilst packing their school lunches. Those are the things that you need to own and hold yourself accountable for eating. Number 2, you're going to log and track absolutely every single thing that you eat for a minimum of 2 weeks. And when I say absolutely everything, I mean absolutely everything. Even those Oreo biscuits that you ate from your kid's school lunchbox. And then number 3, get yourself a kitchen scale and measure and weigh all your foods and drinks. The reason for that is so that you can get accurate amounts of foods that you are eating. And then you can stop this guessing game of, oh, I had 50 grams or I had 30 grams. When you are measuring it, there is no guessing. When you are tracking it, you are getting the data. And that is how you're going to know more or less exactly how much you are eating on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. And then you can come back to me and say to me, but Mandy, I'm not even eating that much. Or you'll come back to me and say, wow, my eyes have been opened. I didn't know a handful of cashew nuts contained X amount of calories. Or I didn't know that 1 or 2 rusks in the morning were so super high in calories. And that is where you will start being able to move forward and where you will start being able to see progress, because now you are armed with the knowledge of knowing how to make tweaks into your nutritional plan to reduce the total amount of calories consumed. If you want more detailed information like this and more coaching like this, not only with calories and food, but everything health and fat loss. My private coaching community is open. I'm keeping it open on a consistent basis. You can join whenever you want to join. The link is in the description of this video. And always remember, when I give you information like this in this video, it is because I have gone through the exact same. There was a time where I believed I'm not even eating that much either, but I wasn't accounting for the brandy and Coke that I was drinking. I wasn't accounting for that cappuccino that I was having in the morning. All I did was look at my solid food and I was like, oh, okay, it's not that much. Meanwhile, back at the calorie ranch, I was having an excessive amount of calories, hence why I could not lose weight. So if you need the support of someone who has actually gone through the struggles of health and fat loss and who has successfully come out on the other side, the links are in the description.